my beautiful people, it's your girl Yana and I'm back today with yet another video. And today you and I are going to be taking a look at some videos that could supposedly save our lives. So why would we not want to take a look at them? I'm pretty sure some of these videos are going to get very crazy, so if you guys are ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Delbert Latham and his son are on a roller coaster with nowhere to go when his son's restraints fail and he falls all the way to the floorboards. Listen and you'll hear him say "my seatbelt" in a scared voice.
I got you. It's not, hey, you're fine, I promise, okay?
Delbert squeezes his child's waist and now an arm is the only thing keeping his son from flying off. He is squeezing as tight as he can and manages to keep his grip for the last major fall.
I got you.
Very clearly the restraints are not enough to keep him in place, and this is definitely something that the workers should have checked before they even let him onto the ride. The only reason he didn't fall off was because his dad was gripping onto him. I really feel bad for the kid because this is definitely something that is gonna stick with him for a long time.
I think most parents would be flipping out, and I'm amazed how calm Delbert remains the entire time, especially considering how bad this could have gone. If the description for this video is to be believed, then the operator was aware of the faulty seatbelt and was letting people on board anyway, meaning his son was not the only one to experience this terrifying ride.
If I was a parent in this situation, I would be so insanely furious. The moment I got off that ride, I would cause actual chaos. Who in their right mind would even let him onto the ride knowing that the seatbelt is broken? That poor kid looked so terrified, and I can't even imagine how scared his dad was.
A YouTuber in Louisiana named Barris Bash tries to stay positive as his entire neighborhood fills with water, with everyone still trapped inside. What starts as some water in his backyard soon enters the home and becomes a total crisis. The YouTuber has the right attitude by not panicking. He puts on a brave face as he makes a video to help relieve the stress. At the same time, I can't help but notice the TV is still on. It's pretty high off the ground, but I think they should have shut off all power because any charge could electrify the very water that they're standing in.
Get the water around your house. Not that bad.
Eventually, when the water gets too high, they escape via canoe and road to dry land. If the family didn't have this canoe, then they would have been at the mercy of a rescue or one of their neighbors.
I cannot believe that they were walking around that house with electronics on. I'm very glad that they managed to get out of there, and the fact that they had a canoe, because that is definitely super helpful in this situation. However, next time, please unplug all electronics. Water and electricity do not mix, and you can really get injured.
A YouTuber named the J Mort is enjoying the Swiss Alps until a massive snowfall traps him alive. Now it's up to Daniel O'Sullivan and his small crew to locate and dig him out before he runs out of air or freezes, whichever comes first. Daniel rips off his gloves so he can put together his digging tools more quickly. After all, getting frostbite in a few fingers is nothing compared to saving an actual life. They don't see anything for a while until James sticks a pole out of the snow and waves it around to draw their attention. This shaves hours off of their search and is ultimately what saves his life. With the J-Mort located, Daniel doesn't waste a single moment going to work on the freezing snow with only a shovel and his bare hands.
We're here, dude.
By the end of it, Daniel's hands are too frozen to even take his helmet off, but his friend is alive, and that's all that really matters. Kudos for such a well-done rescue.
This clip is the exact reason that I'm very scared of snow sports. Skiing, snowboarding, all that stuff is very dangerous. This poor guy ended up being buried alive under multiple feet of snow. His time was genuinely running out, and his friends really saved his life. They were digging through that snow to the point where their fingers were fully frozen. Everyone leave a thumbs up for these guys because they're freaking badass.
A clerk is ringing up a customer in Japan when the lights go out and the ground begins to shake. The customer freezes in place and doesn't know what to do, but the brave clerk drags her around the counter by the hand. Just as the worst of it comes, without looking, the heroic cashier pushes the customer's head under the counter to protect against the falling bottles breaking all around them. At one point, it looks like the shelves are going to topple onto them both, but thankfully the store's infrastructure holds out. By the end of the video, the floor is covered with bottles that fell right where the customer would have been if she wasn't rescued at the last second.
The way the cashier just grabbed the lady and put her under the table to protect her is really impressive. At the very beginning of the clip, the store is absolutely pristine, and then by the end, there are bottles everywhere, products all over the floor, and they genuinely would have gotten really hurt if they didn't end up hiding. I'm guessing some sort of a really heavy earthquake hit, and that's what happened. Let me know in the comments if you guys have ever experienced an earthquake. I actually experienced an earthquake once in Los Angeles, but I'm pretty sure I slept through like the entire thing. Thankfully, that store was strong enough to withstand the earthquake. Otherwise, this would have ended a whole lot differently.
A YouTuber named Sasha is enjoying her vacation in South Korea when she notices a clown in a dirty outfit and a wrinkled white mask is appearing in a lot of her shots. He starts out far away and gets progressively closer until he is practically breathing on her at times.
He looks creepy. Does he look at me?
Sasha plays it off like a joke at first, but when the clown follows her into the mall, she realizes that this is a real issue and she needs to lose him fast.
Because this strange guy, he's here, and it's not funny. Look.
He is fully following her throughout the entire mall. What's even more concerning is the fact that there are so many people walking around her, but he is literally staring straight at her, which shows me that he is very clearly after her specifically. And to be honest, if I was her, I would call the police right away. Clearly, this guy is a little bit crazy.
She tries hiding, but when that doesn't work, she calls a passenger service to come pick her up just as the man switches from a walk to a run. I guess she doesn't know that the police number in Korea is 112, so she does the next best thing and runs away as the clown gains on her. Her ride pulls up just in time and she manages to escape. Even though Sasha didn't call the authorities, she still handled the situation well by getting away from this stranger as fast as possible.
I'm just a little bit confused because there are so many people around her and no one is trying to help her. Especially at the end of the clip, she is very clearly running away in distress from this clown. And everyone around is just looking at them, not even trying to stop the freaking clown. I am glad that she managed to get away. However, I would have liked to see her call the authorities just to make sure that this guy gets caught and doesn't end up doing the same thing to someone else.
When a blue car pulls up and a couple steps out, the gas station clerk notices something is wrong. The woman walks far ahead of the man, almost like he doesn't trust her enough to let her out of his sight, and they immediately go to the ATM to make a large cash withdrawal. At the counter, they continue to stand a wide distance apart, which looks suspicious since friends would be closer. The man seems relaxed, but the woman stands straight and looks very tense. They are just about to leave when the clerk tells the woman to stop. She freezes in the doorway and the clerk puts himself between the two. He can tell the woman is in distress at this point and tells her to go back into the store, which she does. Meanwhile, the man outside looks like he is going to pull something out of his jacket and then drives away instead. As it turns out, the clerk was correct to stop them. The woman was being held captive and being driven from ATM to ATM in the middle of the night. The clerk was smart to wait until she was out of his reach before confronting the man.
You come my bed, I help you, no problem.
If he had waited for police, the two would have been long gone before any help arrived.
I feel like a lot of people would just stand by and watch, and he decided to get involved, risking his own life and his own safety to save this woman from this really scary situation. It looks like this guy was literally keeping her captive, making her withdraw money from a bunch of different ATMs in the area. And the store clerk noticed that the woman seemed very uncomfortable and scared and decided to step in and get involved and save her. He actually managed to chase this guy away and help the girl out. I hope the woman is now safe, and I know that the store clerk has some really good karma coming his way.
When a man enters a gas station and demands money, he finds himself greatly outnumbered by a swarm of angry customers. All it takes is one brave bystander to rush him and the rest follow suit, grabbing whatever they can to neutralize the man until authorities arrive. This video shows that we are all becoming braver and more prepared for these kinds of events as a society. Less people would try and do this if they knew it would form an angry mob, so maybe a group defense is the right tactic. Of course, if nobody else joins in, then you've just effectively made yourself the next target.
So this guy walked into the store demanding money, and everyone in the store ganged up on him and stopped him. They literally said, you are not getting away with this. We are stopping you right now. It is very satisfying to see bad guys get caught. I bet you that guy is never walking into a store to rob it ever again. He definitely learned his lesson after that one.
A YouTube channel called Sailing Latitude is boating around the Italian island of Sardinia when a freak lightning storm breaks overnight, forcing them into survival mode. They try to outrun the storm at first, but the winds are much too strong and soon lightning is breaking directly overhead. Aside from getting zapped, a single bolt would be enough to fry their navigation equipment and leave them completely stranded at sea. To make matters worse, the winds could change at a moment's notice and bring the storm clouds even closer. Somehow they just barely managed to sail through the little pocket of clear weather, well flanked between two storms. Hours later, a calm sunrise greets them, as if it was all just a bad dream.
Being stuck in a storm on a boat in the middle of water is so freaking scary. If that lightning struck them, they would have been completely screwed. Thankfully, however, they managed to move their way through the storm and somehow made it out the other end.
An Uber driver is taking home two passengers when a car they have never seen before overtakes them on the left and then puts on the brakes. Before anyone has the chance to make sense of the situation, the other driver is already hurrying over. He taps on the window and orders the Uber driver to get out of his car, which makes the passengers panic.
What's going on?
I don't know.
What is that?
What's that?
You blew the right leg. Get the out of the car right now.
Just
not
go,
getting
just
out of
go,
the car.
go. Just go. Just go. Go around.
Thinking fast, the Uber driver takes the right course of action by not getting out of his vehicle, driving away instead. They manage to escape and are ready to forget about the whole incident when they see his high beams on them again. That's when they make the second smart decision and get the police on the phone.
Call 911. Make a left
my
here.
God.
Make a left here. Our car is following us. And he bangs on the window and said, get out of the car to the driver.
Eventually, they get pulled over and explain everything to an officer, who proceeds to speed away after dispatching a description of the vehicle to all other units. The car that was chasing them is still nearby, and the driver is charged with being under the influence. Kudos to the driver for keeping his passengers safe and not responding with aggression himself. Had he gotten out of the car and into an altercation, he could have been charged with something or made the situation worse.
I am so freaking confused right now. So the police ended up catching the guy and all they charged him with was impaired driving. This guy fully told them to get out of the car and try to open the door. Who knows what he could have done if he managed to open the door. I just feel like it's a little ridiculous to only charge him with impaired driving when very clearly he was being extremely aggressive. I also have to say I don't understand why the Uber driver stopped. If someone cut me off like that and got out of the car, the first thing I would do is step on it. I would not sit even for a second and wait for them to approach my car.
Christopher Carlson is skiing in Switzerland when he finds himself trapped under 6 feet of snow in a matter of seconds. Watch for yourself and you can see there is basically no time to react to an avalanche of this magnitude, especially from behind. Christopher might not have been able to move out of the way, but it's what he does next that ultimately saves his life. That is to say, he does nothing. He doesn't try to dig himself out because he could be upside down and only digging away from the surface. He doesn't scream or cry because his air supply is limited. He simply conserves his energy and waits for as long as he can. Only when he sees snow moving above him does Christopher yell out, or rather to alert his friends that they are on the right path. After much digging, he finally sees the light again, followed by the concerned faces of his friends.
It looks like this guy got caught in an avalanche, and just like the other guy, he ended up getting buried alive under a bunch of feet of snow. Thankfully though, he was very smart and didn't panic and waited for his friends to come and save him. I don't even understand how he stayed so calm. I can't even imagine how claustrophobic he must have felt under all that snow. That is just a really, really scary situation. Thankfully though, he was lucky to have friends who came to save him, and he ended up making it out of there completely safe. But all right, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. Definitely let me know in the comments which clip you guys found the scariest. I have to admit, these two snow videos where they get caught in avalanches are really terrifying. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.